I got the invitation to go on this Armed Lutheran radio show, though. You know this guy? Have you seen this? There's two things that I would like to say that make me feel safe. Number one, the fact that there is a radio show called the Armed Lutheran Podcast somewhere in the world. That makes me feel safe.
Bringing you law, gospel, and guns. This is Armed Lutheran Radio.
Hey folks, welcome to another episode of Armed Lutheran Radio, a show about guns, hunting, competitive shooting, the natural right of self-defense, and what God's Word says about the issues surrounding gun rights and gun ownership. Welcome to episode number 457. This is the August 2025 online hangout for the Reformation Gun Club, the members, the supporters of the show who make this show possible, the good folks who, through their annual contributions, keep the show going. If you would like to join them, visit armedlutheran.us/gun club or reformationgunclub.com, or look for a link in the show notes for this or any of our previous episodes. Let's see what we got coming here. We have Donny. You're going to meet some of these good people that support the show here in just a few moments. Donny from White Bear. Stuart, our good friend from Florida. Will I Am from Arkansas. Donny, how in the world are you? You're looking good.
I'm in Fargo, North Dakota tonight.
You are. I started to say that looks like a hotel room.
Yeah, we are headed to Laurel, Montana tomorrow. Somebody's vicarage ends on Sunday.
Nice.
And Sunday afternoon, we'll be loading up my pickup in his car and headed back to Minnesota. And then he's got about 10 days, and then he has to go to St. Louis.
Gotcha. All right. Good stuff. All right.
You haven't, this is the first time you've seen you since I've been rebuilt.
I started to say, you look awesome.
Well, I also had a hip replacement.
Okay. Well, you're the bionic man now.
And ride about 35 miles a day on my bike.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, that's impressive.
That is really impressive. I need to be done. I need to do a fraction of that. Holy cow. Very good. Stuart, how are you? Your arm's still in a sling, I see.
Oh, yeah. Didn't keep me from mowing the lawn, but that's a different story. The people who said they would help me out didn't help, but it didn't show up. But anyway, had to get it mowed. You know how it is. Yeah, I have another 3 weeks with my friend here, I think.
All right.
Oh, well.
But
I have a new shoulder. That's good.
That is good. Healing well?
Yes, unless I screw it up somehow.
like trying to mow the lawn?
Yeah.
Steve, haven't seen you in yonks. How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
I can.
Awesome. Yeah, I missed last month, and I listened to the podcast of it. And I'm like, man, I should have been on that one. Sorry about that.
No worries.
But
glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you.
What have you been up to?
Oh, my goodness. Well, I shot my first NRL Hunter match over the spring, and that was a lot of fun. I placed 42nd out of 109 competitors, and it was my first ever long-range match, so I was actually really happy with that.
Nice.
And I've been doing a lot of rifle shooting, a lot of work. My job changed last year, and that has been just going phenomenally well, and very, very blessed and happy with what I do for a living, and happy with family. Everyone's healthy and happy, and life is good.
God be praised. Awesome. Tim, how are you? Good to see you.
Oh, good to see you too. It's been a couple of months because you always schedule these things when I've got something else happening. So I miss.
I always check your calendar first to make sure that you're.
Well, the last miss, I was blessed to go back to the United States, to the blessed state of North Dakota, to see relatives.
Nice.
And Washington is slowly migrating over to the North Korea side, even though you don't see it on the maps yet.
North Korea.
Is that a slow slide? I thought that was pretty rapid.
Yeah, it's
intentional either way.
It's bad and getting worse. They had primary elections in Seattle for mayor, and they're going from completely off, loony bin left to just right off the edge altogether. So I'm just glad I don't live there. I've got this 5-mile moat between us and them called the Puget Sound.
nice. Very good. Darrell, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Doing well. Introduce yourself to everybody. I'm not sure. Have you been to one of these yet?
No, I haven't. I'm a Lutheran and I'm armed, so it sounds like a good topic to participate in.
Perfect.
So, but I'm in North Carolina, Greensboro.
Ah,
and I joined the Reformation Gun Club a month or two ago.
about 2 months ago.
Some of the podcasts. So
Nice.
trying to figure out what you guys are doing here on this call. So.
That's Greensboro is my old stomping ground. In fact, my brother and his family still lives in Greensboro. I think he graduated. Let's see. My mom graduated from the University of Greensboro what was it called back then? It was a women's university back then.
Yeah.
And
I think it's called Greensboro College now.
Greensboro College. Yep. So I attended there a couple of years and lived there with my bro, and he's still there with his family. The old stomping grounds.
Yeah.
Well, great to have you here.
Thanks.
Will I Am, how are you, sir?
Therefore, I'm well.
What have you been up to? You're at your I'm not sure I've seen that hangout before, so I'm not sure where you are.
This is my bedroom.
Okay.
So, welcome to the pad.
I got you.
Yeah, no travel for us since we were out of town earlier this year. So we're going to try to lay low. But I got rid of the Ruger RXM. I love that pistol, so I'm going to get another one. But a friend of mine really liked it and wanted it, and I was like, "Well, what do you got? We'll trade for something." So I ended up with a Taurus 605 357 revolver. Never had a revolver before.
Okay.
So don't have a holster for it yet, and haven't had a chance to go to the range to shoot it. But I'll end up with another Ruger. I don't know, another week or so.
I actually like shooting revolvers, and I have not had the guts to actually try it in a match before. I had a friend who told me that it's incredibly humbling if you go from an automatic to a revolver and start shooting matches, and he decided he would try to do it for an entire year, and he went back to revolver and put it back in the box at the end of the season. Was like, never again.
Just because it was so slow? Or
it's so hard. Yes, it's really slow. And the having to plan, because most of the stages are like 18 rounds. So having to plan where you're going to do your reloads and what do you do if you miss, and how do you having enough rounds for makeup shots and all that good stuff. So, and then just the whole mechanics of reloading is so much different.
You have to have two hands. Yeah.
Hey, Lloyd.
Yeah. Yep.
Revolvers are not slow. They are deliberate. You think of every shot, and accuracy is absolutely essential. With a Glock full of 18, you spray and pray. With a revolver, you think through every trigger pull.
You absolutely have to. You don't have any choice.
There's a guy at our local IDPA club that shoots a revolver, and he's good. I mean, he's quick.
Oh, yeah. The guys that have done it for years are phenomenal. It's amazing to watch them, but I'm not one of those people.
He's using the speed loaders, and they're chunky, sitting out in the hip. So it's not like he's really concealing anything on the match. But it's impressive.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Definitely. There was a guy at the last time I shot, can't remember if it was Nationals or the Texas State match, and I've probably told this story before, the guy who dresses up to the nines with the little bolo tie and everything, a 3-piece suit and a big white cowboy hat, and he shoots a 44 mag. Ooh. And when he's on stage, you can hear him all over the entire range. You know he's shooting.
Feel him. Does he also shoot the SAS?
I don't know whether he does or not. He probably does, because he's good at it. And I don't know how in the world he controls that recoil. But it works for him.
Before we leave revolvers, can I share a really brief, funny story? It wasn't funny then, but it's kind of funny now.
Sure.
Well, in North Dakota, our relatives, they are proud of their state, and they wanted to take us to a couple of the museums. We were in Bismarck, which we did. And they said, well, why don't we go to the state capitol and we can go to their observation deck, which is an entire 18 floors above ground level, which, around this area is no big deal. We got mountains, right? But anyway, yeah, okay, we'll do that. Well, knowing we were going through museums and other places that were questionable, I left my revolver in the hotel room. However, when you go in the state capitol, they make you put your bag on the belt and go through the x-ray and your pockets and all that stuff anyhow. And I realized I had 2 speed strips sitting in my watch pocket where I always keep them. Forgot all about those when I left the revolver at home. Anyhow, I took them out and sheepishly said, oops, I forgot all about these. Can you just hold these until we leave again? And they said, oh, sure, we can do that. Well, we did the tour and then came out again and went to retrieve my property. And the guard said, is that a speed loader? I said, no, that's a speed strip. Speed loaders don't fit very well in my watch pocket. They bulge out too much. And I'm almost as fast with a speed strip as I am as a speed loader. Well, how does that work? So I showed him with an air revolver on exactly how to load a revolver. And we had a 2 or 3 minute conversation about speed loaders and speed strips. Well, the guard who was behind this, just kind of watching on, said, only in North Dakota would you have a conversation like this at the state capitol building.
Very nice. Very nice. Curtis, how are you, buddy?
Doing okay.
What have you been up to? Been a while since we've all been together.
Yeah, a couple of weeks I haven't been running. My truck's been in the shop, but got it out today. So we'll be back on the road pretty soon.
Good deal.
Been gardening in the meantime.
Nice. What are you raising?
I really like my grapevines, but also we got all the melons, cantaloupes, melons, blueberries, of course, tomatoes, peppers.
All the good stuff.
Yep, all the good stuff.
Nice. Mike, I know you're up in the frozen north again.
I wish it was frozen. Supposed to be nice and balmy this weekend.
Yes. Very balmy. How you been?
Good.
What have you been up to?
I just got done. Well, finally got time off from work. We've been busy with summer activities. So that, and so it's been most of July. That we installed a new pastor. Actually, I think we've gotten 2 since we talked last.
Oh, wow.
Yes. A senior pastor and an associate out of the seminary. So, which is.
Oh, good. I thought maybe one hadn't worked out and you had to send it back.
Not yet. So.
All right. What do you, I forgot to ask, and we'll go around the horn starting with you, Mike. What's everybody drinking tonight?
I'm in the summer mood. I've got a cider from Loon Juice it's mango grapefruit.
Okay.
Since it's warm out, it's nice and refreshing.
Absolutely. Curtis, I saw something, but it's
Kefir, fermented milk.
Fermented milk. Okay. All right. Well, since you're not driving, I guess you don't have to worry about the fermentation.
Well, it doesn't make any alcohol. It's just that's how they preserved milk before they had refrigerators and things.
All right. Hang on just a second.
Sorry.
Sure, this will get edited out of the
Absolutely.
podcast.
Yeah. a little question about my daughter starts. She made the volleyball team at the high school again this year, and so we're doing some scrimmage over the weekend, and of course the team has some crazy idea about what they think all the girls will eat for lunch, and half the team is incredibly picky. So we're trying to coordinate some alternate food for tomorrow. In any event, Darrell, what are you up to? What are you drinking? What do you got tonight?
Oh, I'm just drinking lemonade.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
Just lemonade?
Usually have a beer, but not tonight.
Okay. What is a
hard?
Say again?
So not like a Mike's Hard lemonade?
No, just regular lemonade.
Okay.
You're not really Lutheran, are you?
Well, not a natural Lutheran. I didn't join the Lutheran Church till 81, so
okay.
I was not born Lutheran.
Okay. Well, you and I probably have a very similar story then. How did you come to the Lutheran Church, and where did you come from?
Well, my dad was a Nazarene minister, and when I got old enough to make my own decisions, I left. I did not like the Nazarene Church at all. I don't know whether you know anything about it or not, but I call it the no religion. No dancing, no smoking, no drinking, no pants on women, no jewelry, no makeup. It's just like.
Totally you're Seventh-day Adventist. So that's where I came from.
Yeah, pretty much. And my wife came from a Methodist church, and I didn't want to join them. No. And so we settled on Lutheran. And so we made some friends in Greensboro that were Lutherans. They invited us to church. And the pastor, that first Sunday, he took a sermon out of Mad Magazine, Spy versus Spy. And I thought that was pretty interesting. And so we decided to attend, and we've been there ever since.
That's not. I never would have guessed Spy versus Spy would have made its way to the pulpit, but
yeah,
that interesting, very cool. Well, it was the 80s, right?
Yep.
Cold War.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. All right, Tim, what do you got tonight? What do you recommend?
Well, tonight it's Tullibardine. Tullibardine is a distillery that started life in 1488 as a brewery. Well, I think whiskey actually makes more money than breweries do. So back in the 70s, I think it was, they turned themselves into a distillery. But when you're making, beer, you're halfway to Scotch anyway. So, they converted. I went there back last year, I suppose. And it's very good stuff, and it's priced right. So I figured, well, it's a good choice for tonight. We won't go through the Scotch lecture tonight because that would take far too long.
Yeah, probably.
But anyhow, that's what I'm on to tonight.
Okay. Is that something you can get locally, or is that something you brought back with you?
Well, no, I didn't bring it back from Scotland. Believe it or not, I bought it in North Dakota, of all places. But it is available locally if you look hard enough.
Okay.
They've got several flavors. Most of them are, just basically they were aged in different casks for different lengths of time, and they're different mixes and so forth. But yeah, you can get it in the United States.
Tullibardine.
Yeah.
Spelled like it sounds, I would assume.
Tullibardine.
So no, not spelled like it sounds.
So yeah, it's just northeast of Glasgow and Perthshire.
All right. Very
just
good.
kind of spell it in a browser; it'll fix it for you.
Yeah, probably the best bet. I was going to ask Darrell, what I haven't been to Greensboro in ages. What's a good local brew?
It's called a Red Oak, and their main beer is Red Oak. It's an amber ale, and that's what I drink more than anything else, since it is all local too. So we go over to the beer hall they have, and sometimes set it and get it right out of the tap.
Nice. I remember Red Oak from my college days. Steve, what do you got tonight?
I am very happy because I found some TX blended whiskey at my local ABC store.
Okay.
Nice. I got introduced to TX blended back several years ago when I went to Texas, and it is phenomenal. I mean, it's one of those that you put that on ice, and it's honestly, you don't even need to have a, I like old fashions, but this just straight on the rocks is better than an old fashioned.
I think you recommended it to me, which is odd because I'm in Texas, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
I can't always find it, but I found it at one of the local ABC stores. I had to go a little bit out of my way, but I found it. And I bought as many bottles as they had on the shelf because you can't always find it. So, yeah, it's sweet without being syrupy, and very happy with it. So, yeah, that's my drink tonight.
Good stuff. Will, what do you got? Holy. What in the world?
Lamp.
I thought it was a lamp or a bong at first.
Looks like a
You've got a cleaner mind than I do then.
Something that might get thrown onto the WNBA court.
You're muted. Unmute yourself, Will. Let's hear it.
We're having to read lips and laugh at.
Okay, Willet Bourbon. I don't know if you can read that.
Willet.
Willet, so 2 T's. And it's a pot still whiskey. So this is meant to look like an old copper pot, old copper still.
Pot. I was close. All right.
So a friend of ours, we have some folks who moved nearby out of California. They were leaving occupied America, and we had them over for supper about 2 months ago, and they brought this bottle for me.
Very good.
So it's very nice.
Nice. Stuart, I saw a glass of something red.
Yeah, Sangiovese. I joined this wine club, and I got all this wine I need to drink. I take it on Wednesday nights to church. We have a supper club we have before a Bible class. So I bring a couple bottles of wine every Wednesday to that. And
you're never going to get around to it yourself, so you might as well share the wealth.
Share. Yeah, share.
Yep.
I bring more, but we don't have that many people.
How much do you get every month?
Well, no, it's every 3 months. And I just don't drink that much.
Oh, okay.
And because I have all these other things I can drink. I don't go out. I'm a boring person. I keep ending up in the hospital,
I started to say you keep ending up injured or in the hospital or at baseball games, so you can't be that boring.
Yeah, well, I have season tickets. That's why I'm at the baseball games. Donnie, I got to say, I don't know how much weight you've lost. You're looking good, man.
He is looking sharp. What are you drinking tonight, Donnie?
Well, it's just water because I've gone through a lifestyle change.
Okay.
Because I've had some problems not digesting alcohol and stuff like that. And so I have very little anymore, but so I have to have a little bit of wine every now and then because I visit the shut-ins at the church. I'm one of it, and I take consecrated wine with me.
Okay.
And so consecrated elements, I should say. So, but that's about it. I've lost about 45 pounds in the last year. I had to be under 200 when I had the hip surgery. Right now I'm about 175.
Cool.
That is fantastic.
Congratulations.
And just, a lot of it, my surgeon says, ride the bike as much as you want. And I ride a state trail that I can get onto without hauling the bike even. I got about a 3-mile ride through another trail. We're in our last year. A year from now, we're going to be moving back to Kalispell, Montana.
Okay.
And hopefully Peter gets a church in Montana. They'd like to have him back. A church, I should say, 2 or 3 churches is what he's probably going to end up with. But he passed his vicarage, and he drinks the beer that I don't drink, the beer and the whiskey I don't drink.
You just pass it on to him.
Say so. So yeah, just I'm doing pretty good. I'm feeling good. My surgeon, like I said, my surgeon rides bicycle too, and we had a big talk when I saw him a week ago today when he gave me a nice shot in the knee to try and help that one out. So the joints, and actually losing the weight is a lot easier on the joints. And besides that, we're vacant at our church. We do have a vacancy pastor, but we're, and I went to the Minnesota South District Convention. That's where I was last time you met. And when you were having the hangout, I was listening to President Harrison speak, and they had communion as part of it too. And I saw this other character there by the name of Bennett.
Oh no.
we had pretty good talk, but
well, good.
Yeah, I'm doing a little shooting too. I'm
do tell.
I've done the 2 required ones of range safety officer. I've got another. I'm going to try and pick up a couple more when I can. Just you only get credit for 2. I mean for 2, but you get brownie points for any more you do. and I'm doing that, and just riding a bike. I do it every day I can. In fact, I even ride the bike to my chiropractor's office.
Nice.
It's like 3 hours, 3 minutes from my house, but on the bike trail, it's like it's 12 miles from my house.
Okay.
But
so it's pretty easy to add up to 36.
We had a bad couple of windstorms, and we ended up the one bike trail I like. I took, and I had to stop and. Let's say I climbed on the ground to get under branches and stuff. I mean, literally. And I decided until they got them cleaned up, I wasn't going there. But I got through there today and did the mileage. But just if I was drinking something, it'd be something from Glacier Distillery. But but we're
not today though.
Yeah, not today.
Okay. Anybody else done any shooting lately?
Lloyd, this is for your benefit. Can you read it? There it is.
Oh, okay. Wow, it is totally not what I spelled the way I thought it was spelled.
No, Lloyd, I haven't done any shooting since before I broke my wrist.
I started to say.
That's been well over a year.
I know. And that was a cycling
bicycle.
That was a bicycle accident. Somebody hit you.
Be careful.
Yes. And then this is shoulder replacement, right?
Yeah.
What are you replacing
and in
next?
Between I had a foot surgery and
that's right.
The prostate thing. That's all I'm going to say. But I can go to the bathroom now. It's great.
I took big little blue pills to help me do that.
Okay, I'm going to try to get this back on the rails here. Steve,
yes, I've been shooting lately.
Help me out here.
Yeah, so with me, rifles has been the thing over the last several years. And right. I used to do a lot of handgun shooting. I used to do IDPA and USPSA, but rifles has been my big thing. And a few months ago, I had a friend of mine contact me, and he had a rifle. It was a custom rifle. It was by this guy that's got a podcast and he's a rifle builder. And he said, Steve, I never shoot this thing. I want to sell it. And I said, wow, okay. So, I mean, I don't really, I'm not in the market for anything. He says, no, seriously, I'll sell it to you for $2,000. Well, this was a custom 308 in a Macmillan A3 stock with, I mean, the components just by themselves are probably $4,000. And I said, no, I mean, that's a great price. Thank you. But no, I'm not in the market. He says, okay, $1,500. I said, no, I'm serious.
You think you're negotiating?
No. He said, all right, fine. I'll give it to you for $1,000. Like, you'd sell me that rifle for $1,000? He said, yeah. And tell you what, I'll throw in some 22 rifles for your little girls. Like, okay, why would you do that?
Yeah.
He said, Steve, I never shoot this thing. I never shoot it. It needs to be in the hands of somebody who's going to shoot it. So, well, I mean, you can't say no to that.
$1,000 for more than one rifle.
I bought this rifle off of him, and it's been driving me nuts ever since. Because, I mean, not only did he give me the rifle and 22 rifles for my daughters, he gave me a case of ammo, several magazines, and a barrel vise. So I got all this stuff. I take it out and I start shooting it.
I need to run in your circles because you meet the most interesting people who are just trying to get rid of stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. So I started shooting this thing, and it is unbelievably accurate for about 5 shots.
Oh.
And it is driving me insane right now. Because, I mean, it's a 308. And with factory match ammo, I'm trying to get a good 100-yard zero so I can take it out to distance.
Right.
I can't get a 100-yard zero out of the stupid thing. I'll put 5 shots into the most ridiculously small group that you've seen. I mean, we're talking, literally center to center, maybe 0.3 of an inch. And then it'll start walking, and it'll start walking up, and it'll go up maybe 0.5 of a mil, or sometimes even 0.7 of a mil. And then it'll settle in and it'll start grouping again perfectly. And then, so I'm like, okay, well, I need to adjust my zero. So I adjust my zero, I reset my turrets, start shooting again, and it walks back down. And it's got this binary thing that is about 0.6 of a mil apart. I can't get that stupid thing to zero, and it's driving me insane. So I finally contacted the guy who built the rifle, and I don't even know what I'm going to do yet. I'm probably going to end up replacing the barrel on it. It's a carbon fiber barrel, and I just don't think it can handle the heat. So I'm having an interesting time with that, but I got such a good deal on it, I can't complain. And it's worth fixing. It's worth getting it into shape. But yeah, that's been a lot of my shooting lately, is just trying to get that rifle into usable condition.
That's bizarre. I get it changing after a few shots, but then why go back? Why does it go back? It
does. And, the first question everybody asks is, well, maybe it's the shooter. Okay, so, and I understand that. I totally understand that. But my fundamentals are pretty solid. And, I'm shooting it the same day. I'll bring my Sig Cross out there. My Sig Cross, that's not known for being the most, and I'm using very cheap ammo with the Sig Cross. I can do a 10-shot group almost as fast as I can run the bolt and pull the trigger, and put that in about, a half an inch group for a 10-shot group at 100 yards is pretty amazing with that. Then I switch over to this 308 and it just starts walking it again. And so it's really not me. It really is the gun. Oh, and I switched scopes too. So I thought maybe it was the scope. So already tried that too.
And that didn't fix it.
Nope.
So if any of our listeners who are not in the meeting tonight, who listen to this after, have any ideas, leave a comment because I know Steve would love to know.
Yeah, well, I'm bringing it back to the guy that built the gun in the first place and see if he can figure it out because it's driving me batty.
Sounds like. Will, what have you mentioned you've done some shooting lately. You offloaded a gun to a friend. What have you been doing?
The last thing I've shot was IDPA a month and a half ago.
Okay.
Well, maybe even longer than that. I think I mentioned it. I think I just done it the last time we had a get together. But and that's when I shot the RXM. I love that thing. It was awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and get another one. Although I do realize that I misspoke the last time we were on because I had heard and I hadn't verified, and then I went and verified after the fact. I mentioned that the RXM is basically a Glock with a 1911 grip angle, and that's not the case. It's actually smack in between the 1911's 18 degree and the Glock's 22 degrees. It's a 20 degree angle, so it's closer. It's in between the two. But it's comfortable. The thing shoots well. It's awesome. I did pick up on a trade that we have, more of a barter that we haven't really ironed out all the details. But I just got 5 long guns. I haven't had a chance to shoot them yet. But I've got a 1917 Ivor Johnson single shot shotgun. A 1929 Browning Auto 5. It's a very, very cool. It's a very cool gun. I haven't had a chance to shoot it yet. A coach gun made up in Missouri. I haven't looked into the background of that one. An Enfield. That's a British 303, and
that's a heck of a rifle.
It looks, and it's smooth. It's been well taken care of. The gentleman who owned it, the father of a lady at church, he's starting to slip in the mind. And so if I can sit him down and get him to tell me anything about any of these guns, I will record it so I can actually have some information. Because the Enfield, it's actually a notched gun. It's got 3 X's down the side of it. And I suspect that was probably something that happened during wartime, but I don't know. But it's the kind of thing like, Snoopy and the Red Baron, like putting a little stamp on the side every time he shoots a gun down or shoots a plane down.
Right.
So I'd like to get some more information on that. And then the last one was a Mosin Nagant.
Okay.
Built in 1940.
A moist nugget.
Mosin Nagant. Yeah, it's in good shape. I mean, it's loose and the tolerances are crap, but it looks like it's in really good shape for what it is.
My dad has an Enfield 303, and I got to shoot that the one time I got to shoot with my dad, and which is a whole story unto itself. But
that should be an episode.
Do what?
That should be an episode.
It probably is.
Oh,
I think I told that story way back when.
Oh.
So Dad has got an interesting collection of stuff, historical stuff. He's got a Brown Bess. He's got a Luger. He's got a World War II Waffen marked Luger. He's got this British 303 that is actually apparently was issued during World War II. And I got to shoot all of those things, but the what I was thinking of with the Enfield is it really, when you shoot those rifles, it really gives you a whole new appreciation for that generation and what they did to lug those freaking guns around. Yes. Those things are so heavy. And you sit there and think about them shooting that gun over and over and over again. The recoil, all the ammunition you have to carry, it's amazing. And the Garand was very similar. So, which I've never gotten a chance to shoot, by the way. That's a sad story. But anyway, yeah, really cool gun, really fun to shoot. Not that I was very good at it, but still, it was fun. Tim, have you been doing any shooting lately?
Well, yeah, I've been doing shooting. I had to miss the last match that we had. We have a match every month at our club. I had to miss that because I was just gone. But prior to that, I've been kind of stuck on revolvers all year. And the reason behind that is I want to show these young deputies and LEOs that turn up at our match exactly what a revolver will do. Now, they're faster than I am, but I'm more accurate than they are. So I think it's a good trade-off. There was one story actually last week. There was a fellow who never shot a gun before in his life, and he went and bought a Desert Eagle 58. Oh. And I was wondering, why on earth would you do that? But anyhow, he loaded it up. And
I know exactly why he did that.
Pardon me?
I know exactly why he did that. It had nothing to do with practicality.
Yeah, totally ego. But anyhow, I was kind of giving him some tips on how to hold the thing to keep it from flying out of his hands. He still couldn't hit the target board, but he let me shoot a couple, and it's like, well, now I know why I do not own a Desert Eagle. That thing is just, it's a cannon you hold in your hand. It's just, no, don't do that. I do have, once the state gives me permission to retrieve my property, I do have a Model 19 coming. And this is kind of special for me because the very first gun I ever owned was a Model 66, which is the stainless version of the 19. And I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Combat Magnum. So this one turned up. It did not have the Hillary hole in it. So I thought, I've got to have this gun. So anyway, next Wednesday, I pick it up and I'll take it out for a test run the following day and see how we do.
Nice. So you should have some stories for next month's Hangout. Awesome.
I think so. Hopefully I won't blow the thing up. I don't think I will, but
fingers crossed. Darrell, how about you? Any firearms related stuff going on?
No, not really. I go to the range a couple times a month with handguns. Just kind of stay in practice for the church safety team. And that's about it. I do have some Winchester rifles I've never fired, and I'd like to try them sometime, but my friend does have an outdoor range, and he says I can tie him to a tree and pull the trigger with a rope. He says there's a good chance all of them will blow up, but
oh god,
well, they're older rifles. I think the oldest one I have is 1873, model 1873 Winchester rifle that was actually made in 1873. So I did manage to find some ammo for a cowboy load. And I want to try to shoot them sometime, but
what caliber?
Most of the ones I have, I think, are 40-44.
Okay.
And
modern loadings are probably a little too hot for that.
Yeah, send it.
But like I said, tie it to a tree and pull it with a rope. Just at least the first couple rounds to be certain it's not going to blow up on me.
Curtis, how about you? Since you've been waiting for the truck to get fixed.
Yeah, I actually took the daughter out to the farm, I don't know, about last weekend or something, and took the AR-10 out there and 3 handguns, and probably wasted 100 rounds.
Never wasted. It's never wasted.
Well, it gives you reloading time when you get back home.
That's right.
If you smiled, it wasn't wasted.
That's exactly right. Well, cool. Mike, how about you? You said you've been busy with work. Hopefully you're not as bad as I am and haven't been to the range since 2021.
No, I have not been out yet this year, though, but I was out last year a few times. But sad thing is I have a buddy who actually bought a membership to the range one of them belonged to, and we still haven't gotten out yet this year. So, but if it's either hot or raining or whatever, when there's time, so you pick. But,
uncomfortable in some variety.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, and I don't have an excuse. My parents have a farm, but it's just, I need to get out there again sometime soon.
Yeah.
Practice.
Speaking of the range membership thing, I just had to let mine lapse because it was like, okay, I'm going to pay $700 a year. And then he upped the membership or the dues by like 25%. And I was like, I can't see justifying the range membership for as little as I get a chance to shoot. And with all the other stuff going on, volleyball eating my income. So,
Yep. I don't have an excuse like that. I just other things going on. but yeah. Well, the funny thing is the buddy of mine that bought a membership, he only shoots shotguns and long guns, so he's never shot a pistol. So I'm like, we need to solve that problem.
Absolutely.
So
I need to get Sergeant Bill and get him to drag me out to the range and polish up my skills, because it's been ages. So I'd be scared what I might actually hit or not hit. Kind of embarrassing. I will not film that when that happens. That will not be an episode. So, Will, you seriously have not heard that episode of me talking about the range trip with my dad?
I don't remember it. So if I have, I might have been doing something with it in the background, but
it was yonks ago. Unless you've gone back into the groove yard of forgotten favorites, you would probably not have heard it. I'll never forget my dad and his horrendous lack of gun safety.
That sounds familiar. Actually,
yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. So Dad decided that we would set up a target on top of a cow trough, a concrete cow trough. It took me forever to disabuse him of that notion. That was just a horrible idea. The whole, be sure of your target and what's behind it. And then then he tried setting one up, a milk jug on top of a steel post on the other side of a main paved road.
Oh,
Dad, you can't do this. This is, you can't. This is not safe. You can't be shooting over a road. It's just, then once I'd gotten that straightened out, this Luger that he's got both of the grips are cracked. So he's got them taped, but he's got it taped so tightly that the magazine won't come out without a lot of effort. Right. So it's putting pressure on the magazine itself. So we're sitting down and he is trying to remove the magazine and he's waving the gun around like crazy. And I will never forget my son Reagan diving under the table to avoid the muzzle as my dad's doing this, working on trying to get the magazine out, and muzzle's going everywhere. And I'm like, Dad, stop. It was a day of what not to do with guns. Let me just say.
My dad was a great marksman. I don't remember ever actually going to the range with him, but I do remember this one time I'm pretty darn sure he was already plastered for the night. That was unfortunately one of his known traits. But we had this opossum problem in the backyard in suburban Southern California. And he whips out his .22 rifle and from the back porch, shooting a moving target on top of a cinder block wall with houses and houses and houses behind it. And he takes one shot, boom, hits it, and it's trucking along, and its back end falls off a little bit, and it catches itself and climbs back up and keeps going. He shoots it again, and that little bugger fell down, fortunately on our side, not the neighbor's side. But at least 2 shots with the .22 in town, dead on. And this was probably my second taste of death. I've never been hunting, so that's not really something I can look back on. I, as a very small child, went to the funeral of a lady named Pat Kidd, and I remember seeing her dead body, actually touching it, and thinking it was like the soggy cone of a not yet finished McDonald's ice cream cone. And yeah, that had certain memories. And then now this opossum that I didn't know it until we collected it, put it in a trash bag, and we're looking at it to, I guess, admire Dad's handiwork. And the little thing poops because all the muscles relaxed. And I freaked out thinking the thing was still alive. But I learned later that day that it just had all the muscles relaxed and it just let loose.
That story, by the way, that I just shorthanded for you is episode 124. It's the Father's Day episode from 2018. If you want to go back and hear the original version of that story.
Lloyd, to be totally fair, the logo that pops up when you've got to see what's going on with basketball menus and so forth violates rule number 2 of Jeff Cooper's laws.
Which one? What?
Yeah. Never point a firearm at something you are not willing to destroy.
Yeah, yeah. I tried my darndest to explain that to him. He would not listen. My dad, bless his soul, he thinks he knows more than everybody else about certain things, and of course, he's owned guns for however long, and so he's one of these guys that his young son couldn't explain to him anything when it came to guns. He just wouldn't listen. So,
well, look at your own logo too.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Nice one. Okay, fine.
It was episode 122.
124.
124. I had the 2 and the 4 backwards.
Yeah.
24. Thank you.
Certainly. Let's see. Stuart had to log off early because he's getting up at 3:30 in the morning. Holy cow.
Oh.
Why on earth? Probably something to do with his shoulder. That's all I would guess. There's no good reason to get up at 3:30 in the morning otherwise. Must be something medical. Well, guys, quick. Well, I guess we got about 10 minutes. Any thoughts on happenings? The last time we were together, we talked a little bit about the Epstein stuff, and that's all gone sideways lately. Any thoughts about follow-up thoughts on what's happened since we were together last?
Well, I mean, the big beautiful bill that really has some amazing stuff in it, and that's one of the things that I started yelling at my car radio when I was listening to the podcast last time, because you were discussing that, and I think what ended up happening, we got handed a favor, and I don't think everybody even really realizes the favor that we got handed. Suppressors and short-barreled rifles, they cut the tax down to 0, which is cool and everything, but a lot of people were upset because they didn't get the...
it should have come off the NFA.
Should have come off the NFA, but the thing is the Senate parliamentarian was never going to do that. There's no way they would ever have done that. And I think people knew that. And so they said, well, all right, well, we'll settle for just cutting the tax back to 0. That really set up something really interesting, though, because now that they're cutting the tax back to 0, it allows them to do a couple of things. Number one, we were never going to get that in the first place. I mean, there was just no way that was going to happen. But by cutting the tax back to 0, the NFA is in the tax code. That's not in the regulations. And the only time that bill has ever been challenged was in 1938. And they said, well, it's a tax law. It's a valid tax.
Kind of like they did with the Obamacare stuff.
Right. But now
said,
there's no
tax.
Tax. There's no tax.
One point inside of that, though, is they've got a registry. And the way that they have the illegal registry is because they argued we're collecting tax. We have to be able to track whether these taxes were paid. Therefore, we get to write down your name and a certain amount of information about you.
And so Steve's point, now that it's a 0.
Now that it's 0, now you have the big, beautiful lawsuit coming. because all of a sudden now you've made it so that it's indefensible. It's indefensible that it's in the tax law. So it gave our side a way to fight it. And then the other thing that it did, and this is what's wild too, is they were trying to include the Hearing Protection Act in an appropriations bill. But in an appropriations bill, you have to have an offset. So if it's going to cost you something, they have to offset it with a cut in something if you put it in an appropriations bill. Okay, but they could never do that because nobody ever cut spending. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. But now they're already talking about next year's appropriation bill for one of these, these must-pass bills, one of these appropriations bills for the Defense Department. Now they can say, well, we're going to put in repealing this entirely and taking it out of the NFA. There's no offset because it won't cost anything because the tax is already zero. So it opens up some legislative opportunities next year when they start passing these must-pass appropriations bills. They can slide this in very, very easily now because they don't have to have a financial offset for it. So it didn't look like a win. It looked like, our guys are compromising. But in reality, it opened up a bunch of possibilities for the future.
Okay.
In ways that make sense. And honestly, there was no way that we're going to get it past that parliamentarian. That can't happen. And I get why everyone says, we should fire the parliamentarian. Come on. They'll do the same thing. They'll do the same thing back to us.
That's an ugly precedent. Yeah.
Yeah. But we don't have to worry about that because as long as it's a two-step process now, they can fight it in the courts using the fact that it's now no longer a tax,
now it's illegal to have the registry because
or you can put it into an appropriations bill and just eliminate it altogether because you don't need an offset anymore. So I think it was brilliant. I think it worked out in our favor. It didn't look like it at the beginning, but I think this is actually a really, really positive thing, and I'm chomping at the bit. Now, my big fear, though, is that if we don't get one of those two things done, if the Democrats do take over, now they're going to use reconciliation and move the tax back up to $5,000 or something absurd like that.
Chris Murphy's already suggested $4,700.
Oh yeah, and they will. The clock is running. We've got to actually move. We've got to actually do something because one of those two things needs to happen. And until they get the NFA, the suppressors out of the NFA, we're vulnerable. But we've got a few years to do this. So I'm looking forward to it. I think overall it's a good thing.
And one advantage, I think, is that we're coming up on an election year. And one thing that Republicans are always great for is promising stuff leading up to elections. Question is whether or not they'll follow through with it.
Yeah, well, ask Kash Patel about that. He's not been the best at following through.
Pam Bondi.
Yep.
Yeah,
we'll see. I've seen. My opinion is it's totally a distraction. The Democrats are pushing to publish all the information we have on this, which tells me they want the distraction. We have work to do. ICE has already opened the door. They've taken the cap off of the age, so there's no age restriction. I mean, within reason, of course. You're not going to get an 80-year-old there. But, they're basically saying, come one, come all. If you want to help clean the plate, please apply, which is a good thing, because if we get the people who are not supposed to be here out of here, that means certain congressional districts are likely to shift because they are no longer counted in the census. That is no longer counted in the number of people to be represented. So that
Trump
has to get
said that the
taken care
census
of.
was not going to count them this year. So yeah, that'll be huge.
It would. And when you have places like Seattle and Portland that likes to harbor criminals, I mean, we need ICE here right now. And Tom Homan has already expressed interest in both Portland and Seattle. So we'll see what happens. There's already been a few businesses here that found themselves without employees because they skirted legal employment laws. That is, they'll go to Home Depot, they'll grab a whole bunch of people and pay them under the table as contractors, and therefore they don't have to declare them as employees and don't have to pay the minimum wage and benefits and all the other junk. So that's going to come to a swift end, I'm really hoping.
We've kind of seen a little bit of that shift here in Texas with a lot of the migrant labor that you would normally see, and customer service in some ways, in some areas, has been improved because we have actual people doing the jobs that we were told they wouldn't do before are finally getting a chance to do it and doing it well.
Well, it's also for the benefit of the people not here legally, because if they're here as independent contractors, they get hurt on the job. They are completely out of luck because the contractor is not going to back them up. Whoever contracted the job is going to say, no, contractor, whoever you bring on the job is your problem, not mine. And then it's up to the migrant who doesn't have a nickel to his name anyhow to get legal support, which of course won't happen. So he's going to be completely out of luck. It's also bad for our own people. I mean, we have qualified people. We have to adhere to labor laws. In Washington State, the minimum wage is $20. In Seattle, I don't know where it is elsewhere, but it's way too high for competition. I mean, these contractors can't compete. So if the illegal labor is gone, now they have to compete on a level playing field. And one thing Washington is all about is, we got to help the worker out. Well, damn it, help the worker out.
Are they, though?
No. They're helping themselves out. That's been very obvious lately.
Yeah. Speaking of harboring criminals, how about the Texas Democrats heading to Illinois?
No, is there an extradition treaty in Illinois or wherever the hell they ran to?
No, but Governor Abbott has threatened to arrest the whole lot of them because they are derelict in their duty. And apparently there is state precedent to do so, and he's given them a deadline to return to their jobs, or there will be a warrant for their arrest. It's just the irony of complaining about gerrymandering and then fleeing to Illinois is insane. And nobody thought that through, apparently.
Fleeing to a gerrymandered state.
Probably the worst gerrymandered state in the country.
Okay, did you
guys didn't come to Minnesota? They didn't show up for a few weeks in the beginning of the year this year, the Democrats, because they were mad. It's like, grow up.
Yeah.
So Did you guys see the Stephen Colbert clip where he actually had I think it was the governor of Illinois, and he asked him about this whole problem of what the Republicans are doing, and of course there's a softball question to talk about how bad the gerrymandering is, and then there's a brief moment of sanity where Colbert pulls up a piece of paper with a map of the gerrymandered Illinois, and he didn't have a great answer other than he said something stupid like, "Oh yeah, we let kindergartners draw that for us." Like there wasn't any substance to his response. It was. I wish he had pushed harder, but this is Colbert we're talking about, so there's a reason he got canceled.
Yeah, look at Massachusetts district map. You'd swear there wasn't a single Republican or a conservative anywhere in that state.
I got a brother there. Yeah, I feel sad for him.
Yeah, and the other kind of funny irony is the governors like Gavin Newsom threatening if Texas continues this business with the gerrymandering that they're going to redistrict California. I'm like, so California is already entirely blue. What does it matter?
It's not. Almost. I mean, there's still
a handful, but very small handful. Somebody else,
more than 5.
The New York governor did as well, right? Didn't she threaten that she was going to redistrict? Which is silly. Yeah. Anyway,
just threatening business as usual is all they're doing.
Yeah. Every state gerrymanders their districts, and I remember, and Darrell will probably remember very well, North Carolina's, which district is it that is just insanely drawn? It looks talk about children drawing a district map. I cannot remember whose district that was, but it was so bizarre.
Can't recall either, but it's a mess, that's for sure.
So every state's got that stuff.
Okay, so Lloyd, you're in Texas.
Yep.
Remind me, wasn't this redistricting the result of a lawsuit from Democrats claiming some sort of discrimination, and the judge said, "Well, yeah, it's discrimination." So they recalled they decided to redistrict because of that lawsuit. Wasn't that the basis for the reason they're even doing redistricting at this point instead of at the beginning of a decade?
You may be right. I'm not sure.
I thought that was the case. I could be wrong on that.
Personally, I think before every midterm, every state goes around and go, okay, how can we divide this state up where there's 30% conservative and 70% Democrat? And that's what we'll do.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. I think it was Mel Watt's district. Do you remember Mel Watt, Darrell? Former House of Representatives. I think it was Mel Watt from North Carolina. Yeah. I can't remember what district, but it was a bizarre district. It was one of those that was all over the place, and there was no it didn't make any sense. It followed a river or something, and it looked like a snake. I don't know how in the world they made up that. I know exactly how they made it up because it was majority black. And so they've just followed the black communities to make sure that Mel had his district. Pretty sure that's what that was. I am not sure of what
Yeah, I thought the impetus was a lawsuit, and normally they don't redistrict, but for every 10 years. But I thought that the reason they were redistricting now was a result of a lawsuit, and I think it was a Democrat lawsuit.
It could have been, which would be funny. Yeah, I will have to go back and do a little research.
Yeah, well,
I am not sure.
Whatever. It's not about guns or Lutherans, but
well, it's it
affects guns and Lutherans.
It could, because the push has been to turn Texas blue. I mean, they've been trying, and if that ever happens, that's bad news. If Texas ceases to be reliably red, and it's been close the last few elections, but if that were to happen, that would be seriously bad news for gun rights.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Lloyd, could I share a short story?
You absolutely can.
All right. This is related to an earlier topic about the guy that bought the 50 AE Desert Eagle. My first gun I bought back in 1978 was a Ruger Super Blackhawk in 44 Magnum, so I can deal with the guy doing the 50 AE. And I still have that gun. It shoots well. I'm pretty accurate with it. Every time I go shooting, it's one that goes with me just because I enjoy it. Of course, I reload my own ammunition, so I don't have to reload them heavy stuff, but I mean, 78, we're talking back with Clint Eastwood and Dirty Harry and all that good stuff, so right. I can kind of deal with that. But I also have a Desert Eagle and 357 Magnum, and I think that's a great gun. It is heavy, but kind of once you learn it, the recoil is controllable, and I'm pretty accurate with that gun too. Neither one of those are concealed carry weapons, but for going to the range and shooting and having fun, I really enjoy both of those.
Yep, I've never shot the 50A Deagle, but I have shot the 357, and yeah, it's controllable. It's not too bad. I can't imagine what the 50A is like.
The 50A hurts.
Yeah. I cannot even imagine. I would not even dare to try. And the guy had one. And I was like, no, I'll stick with the 357.
Yeah.
No.
Thanks for letting me share.
No, it's great. I'm glad you were able to do it before I hastily rushed us out of here.
Yeah.
Any last stories, fun stuff for us to mull over for another month? before we go? No. Hopefully I'll get to the range before the next time we get together. I keep saying that.
Can we hold you to
Bring that
that?
Desert Eagle.
Probably never going to happen. What?
Bring that Desert Eagle.
No, I did not buy that gun. I just tried it out. Friend brought it to the range and was trying to sell it. And I was like, that's all right. It's pretty cool. I can control it, but yeah, I'd rather not. And the ammo is not easy on the pocket. So no, but yeah, I would, I've got a 22 TCM 1911 I need to get out and shoot. I haven't shot that in a while. That's a fun gun to shoot. It's especially if you can shoot it in, if you've never, has anybody have any idea what I'm talking about? The 22 TCM.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Those are cool.
Oh
those
yeah.
are slick little guns, man. I've never shot one, but
it is.
I know what it is.
It's a 9mm case neck down to 22.
Yep.
So you're pushing 1,800 feet per second out of a 5-inch barrel. So you pull the trigger on that and the fireball is like this. It's huge. It is loud and it is, but there's no recoil. It's like shooting a 22.
The marketing ads on it actually brag about the muzzle blast, which I thought was hilarious.
You feel it. It is, it is amazing. I have a picture of my son shooting it, and he was 12, and I'm behind him over his shoulder, and he's holding it, and the muzzle blast is bigger than his head. It's humongous. If you shoot it at night or in low light, it will absolutely blind you. It is amazing. But it's so much fun to shoot. It is absolutely a blast to shoot because there is no recoil. It is just absolutely flat. So I have not had that out to shoot in a while. And so I need to do that. That would be a fun way to get back at it.
Get a bump stock for it. That'll be real fun.
Now that they're no longer banned by the ATF. Oh no, wait, that's the bump stocks. Wait a minute. You're talking about, I was thinking the shoulder brace or the arm brace.
Shoulder thing that goes up?
The shoulder thing that goes up. That's exactly right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Think of something, if you come up with a story for next time. This is fun. So if you got some story you can share of past experience on the range or out hunting or competition, whatever, bring it next month and let's all have a laugh.
All right.
Guys, thank you so much for your support. Thanks for being here. Have a great night.
Thanks, Lloyd.
For show notes, be sure to visit our website at www.armedlutheran.us. Check out the Facebook page, The Armed Lutheran, or join our Facebook group, Fans of Armed Lutheran Radio. If you like what you hear, please leave us a comment on our feedback page at armedlutheran.us/feedback or a review on iTunes and let us know what you think. Thank you for listening to Armed Lutheran Radio.